Thank you, Mary C. Thank you, Mola Cletus, for joining in. Um, anyway, greeting to all of you that are tuning in this evening. I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuning in here again. My name is Fonton Daniel. I will be speaking live here from the great state of Texas here in the United States about the terror that is ringing in the southern Cameroon territory, nation's capital, BUEA. And it is a very, very sad day indeed. Um, I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuned in. Thank you. Good evening. Um, and thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for tuning in. You remember that I will be broadcast live here for my Facebook and my YouTube. And remember that when you are on my YouTube, make sure you share, you like, and you comment. So because all these informations give me that you were physically. Remember that on my YouTube is called Transparency Media International. So you can Google it, Transparency Media International on my YouTube for those who are not aware. So sometimes you may not you find it difficult. It's called Transparency Media International. That is what it is on my YouTube. So in case you confuse or you can't find it, just hit me a tab. Let me know. Then we will clarify that. But in the meantime, I am your host. This is afternoon here in the United States. It's 12:30 here in the United States and 12:30 in Ambas time in the nation's capital of BUEA, southern Cameroon. And this is Funton Daniel speaking here with implanted evidence by the neighboring country, La République du Cameroon, in the southern Cameroon territory, nation's capital. It is quite amazing. I have been waiting for this evidence before I talk about it. I have always wondered, and this is the moment that I have taken the opportunity to expose this land public invasion in southern Cameroon territory. And I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuning in. If you are here in the United States, or if you are here in the great state of Texas, or you are elsewhere out of the state of Texas, I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuning in. If you are in Europe, wherever you are, if you are in Asia, if you are in the battleground, Southern Cameroon nation capital, BUEA, and this message, I stand with you. It is quite devastating on behalf of the people of Southern Cameroon and those across the global hemisphere that the people of Southern Cameroon are bleeding, especially in the nation's capital of BUEA. So that is why I have brought these images for you to see exactly. And so that is what we're going to be talking about and other more of those implanted evidence by the military of the neighboring country, La République du Cameroon. And I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuned in this evening. Here again, I am your host, and we'll be speaking and more about what is going on in the nation capital, BUEA. So I'm sure you all are saddened by the images that is coming from BUEA, and it is quite devastating. But however, we know that the world remained adamantly silent over the people of Southern Cameroon, but we will never stand silent until justice prevails in our people. We can expect that our people, that we invite a neighbor in our home and they become an occupier of our homes and destroy our property, destroy our family, burn down our images, burn down our villages, destroy our motherhood, because we simply invite them to our home. And so more of this discussion and detail ahead. Stay tuned. All right, so yes, thank you, Terry. Thank you, Nat, for tuning in. Uh, but anyway, so thank you. You, I was talking about terror ringing in the southern Cameroon territory, or terror ringing in the southern Cameroon territory, uh, Boya. It is quite uh, devastating. It's quite devastating. It's devastating in the sense that we invite a neighbor, La République du Cameroon, in our home, and they have turned out to be more of a terrorist country, because what La République military planted in southern Cameroon, because there is a price tag. The price tag, maybe somebody don't understand what is meant by price tag. Price tag is a fixed amount or fixed bonus allocated to the military of La République, that any single Amazonian or Southern Cameroon defense system that are fighting the terrorism perpetrated by La République in Southern Cameroon territory. You all have witnesses massacring, murdering, and slaughtering of the citizens of Southern Cameroon. But however, the reason is clear, and many people have been wondering, why is this happening? It is because of La République, a price tag of 250,000 francs CFA allocated to the military of La République, currently invading the Southern Cameroon territory, and this time the nation's capital, BUEA. You can see a military uniform. This is a clear evidence. This is a military uniform. They shot a civilian, and the civilian is laying down in her cold-blooded bleeding. And you see someone getting a picture to show that the person laying down in her cold blood was an armed defensive system that was fighting against La République. And so they easily, after taking the picture, you can see La République military, the person in uniform, putting a gun, a dent gun. And one thing I want to let people to understand that the price of dent gun has skyrocketed, because the military of La République is searching for those dent guns as an implanted evidence to show that they actually killed someone in Southern Cameroon territory, because they have to portray or they have to show this evidence with a picture and a bleeding individual. So the military is in rampaging the Southern Cameroon nation capital, including other areas as I'm speaking. And they deliberately shooting civilians and removing their gun from their own vehicle and put there as evidence in order to send to their masters in Yaoundé as an evidence that they actually killing Southern Cameroon. Meanwhile, it's just a simple, probably a local farmer, because local farmer or someone just selling his product. Because when you look at the person in question, you will realize that he has two bags, he has something, and that is probably a local farmer. He probably just headed to his farm or probably just walking. But however, he was shot dead because La République military wants a proof so that they can be able to receive their bonuses of 250,000 francs for any Southern Cameroon shot. And that is why the price of killing Southern Cameroon currently has skyrocketed. So I'm going to be coming back to this more about these images, and let's proceed to other subsequent images. This is yesterday in BUEA, the Southern Cameroon nation's capital. Let's look what happens. No, this one is not the nation's capital. This one is actually in Bafoot, where women and children have been displayed, and they are in the forest searching for food, for opportunity, searching for milk, because La République terrorist government invading in Southern Cameroon territory. Why will you expect the people of Southern Cameroon to cohabiting with La République? First, the president of La République is a francophone. The defense minister is a francophone. The minister of finance is a francophone. The commander of the military is a francophone. The commander of the gendarmerie is a francophone. The commander of the air force is a francophone. the general are francophones. The divisional officer in Southern Cameroon are francophones. The governor, the two governors appointed by La Republic are francophones. The delegate of National for Public Health in Southern Cameroon are francophones. I mean, just imagine that the people of Southern Cameroon has become a slavery, and that they have no voice of their own. Just the fact that they invited La Republic to a cohabiting relationship. They invited La Republic for a cohabiting relationship. And that you can imagine the pain and the feeling that the people are going through because of this atrocity that is perpetrated by La Republic in Southern Cameroon. And especially what is going on in the Southern Cameroon nation's capital of BUEA. I mean, it is quite, let's look at some of the images. This one is the one that happened yesterday. Let's take a look. And you can hear people screaming on the top of their voice for someone being shot. You can see. You can see someone laying on the ground that was shot by La Republic terrorist government that are currently invading Southern Cameroon territory. Let's move on. The one and the most shocking story is the story by this young guy. And it is quite painful that I can find my own little young ones, my children, my kids, my brothers, whatever the distant relatives that are struggling to have a voice. But when you listen to the story of this young guy, it is tears that is going to be dripping from you. And when you listen to this young guy and how he managed and find himself in the nation's foreign capital of Yaoundé, it is maybe we haven't got into this painful feeling. Maybe you haven't got your own experience. But when you listen to this guy's story, it will be very deplorable. But the obvious question is, why must the people of Southern Cameroon must live with La Republic? Why must they live with La Republic? Why can't they live on their own and let La Republic deal with their own life? Why? And that is an obvious big question. Why must the people of Southern Cameroon must cohabit with La Republic du Cameroon? The people has been going their business as usual. The people of Southern Cameroon in the 60s and in the 50s, they usually go on their business deliberately with their own government, with their own cabinet. They didn't expect to have all these terrorists of La Republic that emerged. It's just because the French government has a mineral deposit in Southern Cameroon territory. That is their top priority, that they must drain and feed the French citizens. And that is why our people become the main target area. Let's listen to this young man's story.
My name is So I left the school I was high school, so I could not play there. I ran through bushes and I find myself in the after my mental also there was mobile box, but that was spoiled. There was still arranged. I hide myself there now before we come up to your day. Yesterday they put so on Tuesday 2019. That's when I arrived at the so everybody knows my father name is Mr. King and my mother is so everybody can find out everybody can find out.
I'm going to post this young man's story on my Facebook. and on my YouTube for you to read, to listen. It is quite painful when you listen to this young man's story and how he finds himself in a neighboring country's capital, Yaoundé. And probably the family is not aware that he is currently in La Republic nation's capital, Yaoundé. And how he narrowly escaped through bars and managed to find himself in Yaoundé. And that to give you the impression of the terrorism that is perpetrated by the neighboring country like Cameroon, and especially young Mary, a price tag of 250,000 CFA paid by the La Republic Treasury to their military bonuses if they can have one of these child and place a gun as the evidence that I showed to you earlier. So there is a price tag of this young man like this one that you're seeing, and that when La Republic military that are currently invading Southern Cameroon territory, and that when they shot young man like this in Southern Cameroon, and they can prove with a gun, which they're now buying gun and using it as a sign of evidence to show that that is what actually portrayed them to shoot him. And that is why the young man like this one escaped, because he could be a potential candidate to be shot by the terrorist government of La Republic du Cameroon and place a weapon on him, and so that they can have a 250,000 franc CFA from the La Republic Treasury. That is the price tag. And that is the painful that a young man are going through in Southern Cameroon. It is quite painful again, because why do we even find ourselves in the midst of this atrocity? Cohabiting relationship. A cohabiting relationship. That is the paradoxical that brought us into this mess. And one wondering, partly because the British imposed us this terrorist government, because British entrusted, despite the fact that they have been dealing with the people of Southern Cameroon more than they can deal with any other nations. And they understand the value and the importance of the people of Southern Cameroon. But unfortunately, the British entrusted La Republic more than they entrusted the people of Southern Cameroon. And that is why a young man like this one is a target by the terrorist government of La Republic, and that they use him because the price tag to have this one and place a dead gun in his body after has been killed, and have an images to show proof. And that particular individual is entitled to 250,000 francs CFA. And then imagine you have 4 of them. You also have 1 million, and that can give you the price tag that the La Republique Francophone military are rushing to Southern Cameroon, because once they get 4 of those images with the dead gun placed on them, then they can have 1 million francs CFA as a price tag. Let's look at one of those images. You can see. So this one, probably his 250,000 francs CFA has already been paid, because that's the price tag. And that you can see the military with their uniform placing the weapon on a dead person, because they have shot him, and that they have now evidence for the price tag of 250,000 francs CFA. And that will be paid by La Republic Treasury for them. And so if you have 4 of this, you are entitled to 1 million francs CFA. And so that is why the Southern Cameroon became a serious commodity for the neighboring country La Republic invasion. Let's go more further. This is what is happening in Southern Cameroon. If you look at the images here, this is not just the images. I'm going to play the video, and you're going to be seeing exactly how the young male are being treated, because they are priceless, that are being used by La Republic in Southern Cameroon. We have more of this discussion in further. Let's Let's take a watch. This is La Republic terrorist military. These are all young Southern Cameroon in BUEA, nation's capital. In the Southern Cameroon nation's capital of BUEA. This is a military standing. This is another one. So as you can count the number of citizens in Southern Cameroon that are languishing here in this location, that gives you the exactly number that once they have been killed and place a dead gun on their stomach and indicate that that is exactly how many millions they're going to get from the land public treasury, showing that they have victory and that they're gaining. This is what is happening in Southern Cameroon. And this is Fulton Daniel speaking here from the great state of Texas about what is happening in the Southern Cameroon territory. Let's play it and then you listen. You see, there's another military walking. And you see. So once they are caught, they bring it to this location. Once the young able male are caught, are picked up, this is their base. This is the location that they are being brought to this location. And you see in the surrounding, there's a military vehicle, military convoy that are being packaged there so that they will be taken on for onward slaughtering and killing. That is what is going on. And so many of those killing, some of them may not be shown. Some of them, they just kill them and put an image, a dead gun. And that is why the price of a dead gun has skyrocketed. You can see in this area is a school children that have just break into the school and force them, and you can see them running in commotion. Let's put the video rolling and you see. Those are young male children. Those are young male that have become a priceless by La Republique invasion in the Southern Cameroon nation capital of BUEA. And you can watch. This is a military personnel walking close by as those children are being forced. This is the La Republique military vehicle. The black car, the black truck. And you can see this. You can see, watch, this one, they have been shot. This one, they have been shot. So they're ready now for the price tag. So they're ready now to be photographed and place a dead gun. And so that will give them a price tag of 250,000 CFA. And that is what they use to collect from La public treasury against the people of Southern Cameroon. Let's play you can see. Listen. You see? This one is already shot dead. It's ready to be relocated where they're going to place a dead gun. And so get a picture for onward transmission for the land public treasury so that they can have their 250,000 CFA price tag. And that is what they told the Betis in Yaoundé are benefiting from the people of Southern Cameroon. Let's go further. This is the bleeding that is going on constantly in Southern Cameroon, nation capital, BUEA. Let's play, and then you listen. You can watch. You can watch. Now, the obvious question now lies is, how do we get here in the first place? We get here because of the disappointment and the worst by the British Crown that despite dealing with the Enugu, the Jongu Foncha Endele Ngumjwa, the cabinet of the people of Southern Cameroon, you will believe that they will entrust the people of Southern Cameroon and that building that relationship, and that they believe that the people can be able to govern themselves and live independently. You imagine that in 1961, when the United Nations were voting at the headquarters here in New York, the population of Southern Cameroon were more than the population of Equatorial Guinea. The population of Equatorial Guinea at that time was 3,000, and they were a sovereign nation that were voted to recognize them as a defined people of a sovereignty. They were simply 3,000. And if that population can be defined as a sovereign nation, why can't the people of Southern Cameroon become their own sovereign nations? Because they already have a government of its own. They have an elected official. They have a parliament. They function as a full-fledged government. They have a prime minister. They have an assembly. They have a national assembly. They have a senate. And that they have a three arm of a government that a defined nation must possess. Our people had all these forms, and they were the first in West Africa to have a meaningful and democratic government. You have all the rest of sub-Saharan Africa. None of them has demonstrated. In fact, they were developing under a military coup d'etat. And that was when, till all of a sudden, probably in the 90s, of early 90s or late 90s, that we have a democratic elected government in West Africa. All of them were either military dictatorship or either brutal dictatorship or military. And that is why the one that has not changed, the one nation that hasn't changed or leadership hasn't changed is La République du Cameroon. Is La République du Cameroon. La République of Guinea is independent in 1960. Has not demonstrated any skill change of leadership. They haven't. They have not demonstrated this spirit of change of leadership. You have one brutal dictatorship of Amadou Ahidjo, and to the subsequent, this terrorist that has been there for 36 years. Pobia. And one will wonder how the diplomatic nations entrusted this dictatorship more than the people of Southern Cameroon, that they have actually demonstrated this skill of an effective change of government. But however, because for the interest of the French and the mineral deposit and the sonara that is based in Victoria, and because of the sonara that is based in Victoria, and that is a source of revenue to benefit the French authority, and that is why, imagine that the government of South Cameroon was not existent, and that is why the Great Britain entrusts our government to La République so that it will be a visa-free for France to come in and drain the resources and fed the people of France. Why our people are struggling to find a basic food to live. It is, and that is why our people has taken up revenge. So I am encouraged that the Southern Cameroon, in this period and moving forward, there should be no La République in Southern Cameroon territory. That is a fact. There should be no La République. Because imagine you public heard from the governor is La République. The governor is La République. Senior divisional officer is La République. The military commander of Northwest and Southwest are La République. The commissioner of police, provincial delegate of national security is La République. the delegate of whatever public health, national education, whatever, all is La Republic. Even in Southern Cameroon territory, all the various delegates are La Republic. All the various delegates, all the various commander of the army, all the various commander of the air force, all the various commander of the gendarmerie, all the various, they are all La Republic. That is why we stood up and allowed our home to be drained, to be drained, to be drained. What a painful feelings.